Welcome back. Thanks for tuning in. In part one, we talked about the fact that it's time to buy stocks. The economy is growing, the world economy is growing, and energy, our energy, will enable us to participate in the growth of the world economy like we've never seen before. This is the historical event what I was talking about. The world is changing. Capitalism and entrepreneurism is running rampant from the villages of Brazil to the cities of China. Now, what does that mean to us? As we know, money circulates. The more trade, the more wealth grows. If you took economics in school, you might recall there's a multiplier effect. So $1 in the economy actually means $5 to $7 traveling around, passing through hands. And the more money that's in the economy, the more the multiplier effect. Now think about what's happened. China, a few years ago, had very few roads because there was no need. There were no cars. Now, I've heard there were over 10,000 cars being sold a day in Beijing. China is building roads, bridges, power plants, factories, dams. And where are they getting the equipment to build these factories? Where are they getting the rail cars? Where are they getting the supercomputers, the power turbines? They're getting them from the country that has the most advanced manufacturing capability and technological know-how in the world, the U.S. Everywhere that is building their infrastructure all over the world needs the U.S. products and know-how for their growth. Now remember, these emerging economies, the growth is steep. When you have a penny and then you have two, you have a growth in the economy that is enormous. So what we're looking at is international growth that can make a big difference in what we are doing. Let's look at the promising sectors. The most important factor in our economy today is the consumer. Did you know that the consumer accounts for over 70% of the economic growth in this country? So what we do and what we feel makes a big difference. So how are we feeling? Well, consumer confidence numbers say that we're feeling better and better. We are spending more. We're eating out at more restaurants. We're traveling more. The airlines like that. Hotels are up. They have been doing very well. But there's a change. We have become picky. We are very interested in what we spend our money in. We want quality rather than quantity. We would rather buy something that we really want than just a lot of something else. Take, for example, the restaurant chain Chipotle. I was in California a couple of weeks ago, and there were 6 restaurants in a row. The Chipotle Mexican restaurant had people out the door waiting to get food. Why? Because they would rather pay their time and money for quality than just eat anywhere. We are moving from cheapness to value. We're also thinking about conservation, recycling. We want something that lasts. We would rather have that than something that just takes up space. We can obviously see that in restaurants. We can also see it in apparel. Black Friday was down 4% in sales. No reason to panic because online sales were up nicely. But as I wandered through the stores, what struck me is there is so much stuff. You know, when I was a kid, a blouse was expensive. 3 or 4 a year was a big deal. A full closet was a luxury. Now you go in and the racks are stuffed. You can hardly move your way around the store. I feel like it's being forced upon us. And the search for something special is pretty much impossible. You can see this in technology too. The gadgets that we get. Do we get mini gadgets as we can, or do we get the one we really want? The iPhone is a great example, and the reason that the Apple stock has skyrocketed. Another example is the Tesla automobile. All that had to happen is for an analyst to say this is the best car that's ever made, and people bought it regardless of the price. We want value at a good price, and the companies that get that are going to succeed. The others will fail. Another trend that's very important is technology. U.S. technology. You know, this is a mainstream industry in the United States and established. And we have the technology in the industry, above and beyond everyone else in the world. Technology is the reason for efficiency and the reason that our corporations are more productive than they've ever been. It's true that technology is disruptive, but jobs are lost, but high-paying jobs come later. And companies cannot afford to not buy new technologies. New tablets are a great example. A lot of companies have been putting off buying PCs. Now they can buy a near PC with a keyboard, email, Skype, wireless for a lot less money and more capabilities. The growth of technology is here to stay because it makes business more efficient. Now, the internet, the internet is a great thing. It was born from a quest for knowledge rather than from business. Business didn't create the internet. The university started the internet. Think of what's happened. Back in Africa, a few decades ago, some people were unaware of even what the developed world looks like. Now they can see the whole thing on their smartphone. It's not just a phone, it's a smartphone. They can see pictures, they can communicate, they can improve their lives. How big is technology going to get? We have 4G, 3D, Wi-Fi. We're pretty wired here. But what about the rest of the world? This is just the beginning. We have to keep in mind that we're just a very small part of the world. But we do have the tech. Our technology companies built the internet, make the phones, make the computers. And we are here to sell it to the rest of the world. Technology is expensive and competitive. New companies threaten the old. Innovative companies show us new ways to do things. Google is a great example. That stock has gone from $100 a share up to over $1,000 a share. Apple is another example of how things work and how people want the best that there is. Facebook came out. It's now 250% above where it was a year ago. Twitter was launched a little while ago. These big names tell us what's happening in the market and where we're going in the future. So, technology and the consumer, very important factor. Another factor I want to talk about are U.S. corporations. Now, U.S. corporations are where the money has gone. And they're in great shape. And you can buy them right now. Their dividend payouts are at new highs. So for people who want income, half the taxes and twice the rate of CDs right now. Stock buybacks are at an all-time high. $4 trillion in cash on the balance sheets, better balance sheets they've ever had. U.S. productivity at consistent highs and low price-earning ratios. So when we're looking to invest, we need to look right here in our backyard. So what does all this mean? How do we translate this to a better investing portfolios? What do we buy right now? Well, Our big corporations are the best in the world, so we want to buy our large international multinationals, the industrials, the materials. We also want to buy consumer stocks that know where the consumer is going. Energy is something that's going to be going for many, many years to come. Transportation is very important because now that we're making all those goods and services, we need now to distribute them around the world. And technology, because technology improves productivity and allows us to make more and more profit in the future and will create a lot better, high-paying jobs. So, thank you so much for listening. I hope these ideas help you make a lot of money in your new stock portfolio. Please tune in to my YouTube channel for my video, How to Buy Stocks, for a primer on this subject. And stay tuned for more economic updates and stock market investing tips. Thanks for listening.